So let's talk about the basics of lipolysis. I'll go into more detail in my next video. This is the basics of lipolysis and how does it happen. Years ago, we know that most people thought that you were stuck with the amount of fat cells you were born with and that you couldn't remove any of those fat cells from the body. This is not the case at all. We all know that body fat cells are active and that they can be metabolized for energy. When we are trying to lose weight, we are concentrating on removing fat cells from the body. We also know that these days we have treatments in the salon that we can do to remove fat cells or destroy fat cells, either through fat freezing. It can also be obviously destroyed or removed via liposuction through a doctor. When we are removing or trying to get rid of the fat inside the fat cells, we know that we do this with a deficit of calories. In other words, we remove calories from our diet or make it less. We also need to understand what makes fat loss successful. We need to know where fat cells are stored. So if you ask most people where their fat is stored, they will probably pinch a piece of fat around the stomach and tell you that is where their fat is stored. And in most cases that is true, but we also know that fat is stored in different areas of the body that are not visible. So we know that body fat is stored inside a fat cell, and lots of fat cells together make up what we know as white adipose tissue. And this is found just below our skin and around our organs and etc. So, what is lipolysis? Lipolysis is basically the breakdown of fat stored within those little fat cells in order to obtain energy. When we need more energy, like if we do exercise or our glucose levels drop because we are not eating, then the hormones that control the lipolysis begin to rise in order to break down fat to give you more energy. When the fat cells or the triglycerides are broken down, they are turned into two main components known as glycerol and fatty acids. These free fatty acids are then released into the bloodstream and become available for cellular uptake. They're also transported into any tissues in the body that require energy. Each fat cell molecule gives 3 fatty acid molecules. Therefore, it is called a triglyceride, meaning that fat is a valuable source of energy, better than carbs or protein. When our glucose levels are low, the body will convert our triglycerides into fatty acids, which are then used for energy. During each step in the process of lipolysis, one fatty acid is removed. And obviously, for this to happen, we also have enzymes that are catalyzing the hydrolysis of the free fatty acids. So what is insulin's role in this whole process of lipolysis? Because we always talk about insulin. Insulin is a key element in the lipolysis process, but it must be at a level that encourages weight loss. The pancreas, we know, the organ that releases insulin is as a response to rising glucose levels in the blood. Your blood glucose levels rise when you eat food, especially carbs and protein. In contrast, when you fast or don't eat, your glucose levels are going to drop, as does the production of insulin. Insulin is used to clean glucose out of the blood, which therefore lowers